Imagine being deep underground, surrounded by complete darkness and freezing temperatures. The air is thick, the walls are closing in, and suddenly, you realize that this place, a place that promised excitement and adventure, has turned into a death trap. This is not a horror story, but a true incident. Today, we delve into the tragic story of Ellison's cave, where 10 friends descended into its depths, but only 8 emerged alive. Let's uncover how this adventure turned into an unimaginable nightmare. On February 12, 2011, 10 students, 5 boys and 5 girls, from the University of Florida embarked on a caving expedition they had planned for weeks. Among them were 20-year-old Grant Lockenbach, an experienced rock climber and the lead planner of the trip, and his friend, 18-year-old Michael Wayne Peary. Just weeks earlier, the two had successfully explored another cave, and the experience left them exhilarated and hungry for more. After much discussion, they chose Ellison's cave as their next destination, a challenging yet beautiful cave located in the Appalachian Plateaus of northwest Georgia. The allure of its vast vertical drops, known as pits, drew them in. Ellison's cave is famous for its fantastic pit and incredible pit, some of the deepest vertical pitches in North America. This adventure was supposed to be the pinnacle of their caving experiences. The group arrived in Georgia on February 11th, eager to begin their adventure. They spent the night at a hotel near the wildlife management area where Pigeon Mountain was located. They woke up early the next day, dressed in casual clothing, and gathered their gear, helmets, ropes, and harnesses. They left their phones behind, assuming they wouldn't have service underground anyway. Their preparation seemed adequate, but in reality, they underestimated the conditions they were about to face. The group hiked up the mountain for about an hour, finally reaching the cave entrance, a narrow, jagged crevice that required each person to squeeze through one at a time. It wasn't the spacious opening they had imagined, but they were determined to move forward. As they descended deeper, the initial tight spaces opened up, giving the group some room to move more comfortably. There were minor downward slopes that required the use of ropes, but Grant's experience helped the group overcome these obstacles. They were in awe of the intricate cave formations, twisting passages, echoing chambers, and stalactites that hung from above. The excitement of exploration filled the air, and despite the dropping temperatures, their physical activity kept them warm and energized. After some time, they arrived at the warm-up pit, a challenging 125-foot drop that served as a gateway to the deeper, more dangerous parts of the cave. It was here that things began to unravel. Before attempting the descent, the group paused to regroup. In the midst of the excitement, one of the students accidentally dropped their backpack, which contained essential gear needed for the ascent back to the entrance. The bag tumbled down into the depths of the warm-up pit, and the group was faced with a decision: retrieve the backpack or continue without it. Grant, taking on the role of leader, decided to descend to retrieve the lost belongings. He had experience with rock climbing and felt confident that he could handle the descent. He secured the rope to a nearby boulder, ignoring the cascading waterfall on the opposite side of the pit. Unbeknownst to him, the water from the fall had spread across the bottom of the pit, creating a hazardous situation. As Grant began his descent, the atmosphere grew tense. His friends watched from above, confident in his abilities, but unaware of the dangers lurking below. The roar of the waterfall became louder as Grant descended further into the pit. He tried to swing away from the water, but the angle of the cavern made it impossible. He found himself directly beneath the icy stream, the cold seeping into his bones. The water temperature that day was between the high 30s and low 40s Fahrenheit. The chilling water quickly overcame Grant, and he began to shiver uncontrollably. Panic surged as he tried to continue the descent, but the cold made it impossible to move efficiently. He attempted to climb back up, but the rope became entangled, trapping him beneath the freezing waterfall. Hearing Grant's cries for help, Michael, his best friend, wasted no time. He secured himself to the same rope and began descending to assist Grant. As he reached his friend, he found Grant disoriented and shivering violently. The freezing water had sapped his energy, leaving him barely able to communicate. Michael relayed the situation to their friends above, who were relieved but also terrified of what might happen next. Michael tried to free Grant from the ropes, but the freezing conditions made it nearly impossible. The water that had already taken a toll on Grant began to affect Michael as well. The two friends found themselves trapped, suspended above the pit, with no way to ascend or descend. The situation grew increasingly dire. Michael began shouting for help, his voice echoing through the cavern, but the roar of the waterfall drowned out his cries. The friends above could hear them, but were powerless to help. Some stayed behind while others made the arduous journey back to the surface, rushing to their vehicle to call for help. It took over 30 minutes for them to reach their car and contact emergency services. Meanwhile, deep within the cave, Michael and Grant were fighting a losing battle against the cold. Their bodies were weakening, and their voices grew fainter as hypothermia set in. The frigid water was relentless, draining their energy and compromising their ability to breathe. Approximately an hour after the call for help, the county's cave and cliff rescue team arrived at the scene. They swiftly began their descent, but even for the experienced rescuers, reaching Michael and Grant was a challenge. The narrow passages, slippery surfaces, and the cold made the mission incredibly difficult. The rescuers knew they had to act fast, but the complexity of the cave slowed their progress. By the time they reached the boys, they found them suspended from the ropes, unresponsive. Despite their best efforts, there were no signs of life. The rescue operation continued for another 6 grueling hours, with rescuers working tirelessly to bring Michael and Grant out of the cave. The tragic loss of Michael Wayne Peary and Grant Lockenbach left a deep void in the hearts of their friends, families, and the entire University of Florida community. They were remembered as adventurous, kind, and full of life. Young men with bright futures who were taken far too soon. The university held memorials in their honor, and their families established scholarships in their names to ensure their legacy would live on. The tragedy also served as a stark reminder of the dangers of caving. Experts emphasize the importance of proper preparation, equipment, and understanding the environment. Ellison's cave, while beautiful, is not forgiving to those who are unprepared. This incident highlighted the risks involved in extreme activities and the importance of respecting nature's power. The story of Michael and Grant is not just a tale of tragedy, it's a lesson for all adventurers. Nature can be beautiful, but it can also be incredibly dangerous. Proper preparation, knowledge, and respect for the environment are crucial when embarking on such journeys. We share this story today to honor the memory of 2 brave young men and to remind everyone of the importance of safety. If you found this story moving, please like, share, and subscribe. Let's spread awareness about the importance of adventure safety and make sure that no more lives are lost to preventable tragedies. Adventure is thrilling, but it must be approached with caution. Stay curious, stay adventurous, but above all, stay safe.